Hello and welcome to ISTV News. Lining up the top stories we have: Manipur regulations for visitors, tenants and migrant workers bill 2015 tabled in-house. And Manipur Bandh called against Khwairamband bomb blast which killed 3 persons evokes mixed response. And now the news in detail. Chief Minister Okram Ibobi, as the leader of the House, today tabled the Manipur Regulation of Visitors, Tenants and Migrant Workers Bill 2015 in the ongoing session of the Manipur Legislative Assembly today. The bill is going to be discussed and debated in the House on March 16. Deputy Chief Minister Gaikhangam, who also holds the portfolio of Home Department, today placed the facts of the incident of bomb blast that occurred at the chicken market near the temporary market at Khwairamband on March 11 in the House. He said the blast was masterminded by insurgents, but no insurgent organization has made any claim about the incident so far. The incident happened at about 5:50 p.m. It was an IED triggered by a remote control device. As soon as the blast occurred, top police brass rushed to the site. A team of Forensic Science Laboratory, Porampat, is examining the forensic clues found on the spot. A case has been filed at the city police station. Out of the 3 persons slain in the blast, 2 were from Bihar. Out of the 2 from Bihar, 1 body has been taken and his last rites have been conducted. 1 body is still kept at the RIMS morgue. Those injured persons are undergoing treatment at RIMS, Caesar Hospital and Raj Medicity, Gaikhangam said, adding that he shares the grief of the families of the deceased. May those injured persons get well as soon as possible, he conveyed his wish. On the other hand, Dr. I. Ibohalbi of Trinamool Congress moved a calling attention motion urging the government to take up effective steps to relieve the panic that has gripped the minds of the people in the wake of the sudden outbreak of swine flu in Manipur. He said, even the doctors are apprehensive of treating the patients who come for treatment. What steps are being taken for the health workers? The situation has come to such a pass that the daily life of the people may come to a grinding halt across the state. Therefore, the time has come for awareness campaign to be launched in all the districts, including the schools. Active surveillance must be put in place and it is the time full-fledged and separate directors are appointed for public health. Out of 5 persons suspected of suffering from swine flu, 2 have already died. Out of the 2 deceased, 1 is yet to be confirmed of swine flu. The average death rate of all India is round about 7%. Considering this rate, the Manipur's death rate could be reached as 20 to 40%. Necessary vaccines, masks, etc. should be made available to the health workers. Out of 12 testing centers in India recognized by the Government of India, the one of which service is being utilized by Manipur for testing swine flu virus is not one of the recognized center. Instead of the center, the test may be done at places where no fee is charged and also results can be known faster, Dr. Ibohalbi said. Responding to Dr. Ibohalbi's observations, Health and Family Welfare Minister Phunjang Thangtonsin said the first case of swine flu was confirmed on March 5. As soon as the case was confirmed, extensive precautionary measures were taken by the Directorate by opening monitoring cells. The cells were opened at the district hospitals and isolated wards were also arranged. Awareness programs are being taken up through the media. The minister informed the House that the vaccine cannot be given to any person whenever he wants. There are clear guidelines of the Government of India. There is no saying that every cough will be swine flu. However, a joint meeting along with Jenims and RIMS will be held and strengthen the surveillance works, Health and Family Minister Phunjang Thangtonsin assured the House. A 2-minute silence was observed during the obituary reference in the ongoing assembly session of Manipur Legislative Assembly today over the untimely demise of P.H. Parijat, former member of the House and 6 times MLA from Lamlai Assembly constituency. Leader of the House, Chief Minister Okram Ibobi, expressed deep sorrow over the demise of late Parijat. His untimely death is a great loss for the state, the Chief Minister added. MLA of Lamlai Assembly Constituency KSH Biren, MLA Dr. I. Ibo Halvi, MLA O. Lukoy, MLA Dr. N.G. Bijoy, MLA T.N. Haukip, MLA N. Biren, Minister Francis Ngajopa, MLA R.K. Anand and Assembly Speaker T.H. Lokeshwar also took part in the obituary reference. Most of the members expressed sorrow over the death of late Parijat and lauded him as a great leader. They mentioned him as a man of experience, knowledgeable, highly skilled in organizational activities, being calm, patient, wise and courteous. Besides, he was a great politician who never changed his party since he joined the political party CPI. Moreover, the members of the House also praised him as a highly intelligent leader who could solve any problem coolly in a short time during the critical juncture of the state. His untimely demise is a great loss to the state. Chief Minister Okram Ibobi further mentioned that late Parijat was born on June 6 in 1942. He was a cool and gracious person. He was not only an innovator but also a good decision maker when an unprecedented situation arose. The Chief Minister also expressed that he shares deep sorrow with the bereaved family and prays to God for his soul to rest in peace in the heavenly abode. The 48-hour Bandh called by the All Manipur Minority Students Union and the Joint Action Committee in protest against the bomb blast that killed 3 persons at Quiremban Market on the evening of March 11 has partially affected normal life, but generally evoked mixed response from the public. For the second day today, Quiremban Market remained closed. All women's markets, shops and business establishments at Pauna Bazar, Thangal Bazar, Gandhi Avenue, etc. pulled down shutters. Passenger vehicles stayed off the roads. Yet many auto rickshaws and diesel autos were seen piling. Private and official vehicles were also seen piling. Flight services at the Tulihal Airport continued as usual. Schools where examinations were going on remained unaffected. The Bandh was more effective at Khetrigao, Hatta and Khetri Baigun, where the Bandh supporters piled up old tires, dry logs and burnt them. They also stopped passerbys and vehicles in these areas. Police personnel were seen deployed at various places to ensure that there was no challenge to the law and order. On the other hand, there was no report of the Bandh affecting normal life in other districts. No report of any untoward incidents has been received so far. The dead body of a mentally challenged woman was found at Kongkha Lokon in Imphal West District around 5 a.m. today. The girl has been identified as Thaunaudam Premila, 35, daughter of T.H. Jatishwar from Manak Inkol, Baninglekai. According to reports received from the family members, she has been missing since 5:30 p.m. yesterday after she went to witness Lai Harawa of Far village. Moreover, she was suspected to have been murdered after rape by some miscreants. A team of police and forensic experts rushed to the spot and picked up the body. A free medical camp organized jointly by District Medical Unit of District Health Society Thaubal and Management Society of Community Health Center Hairok was held at Tingol area Hairok Part 2 yesterday. Talking to the ISTV News, a representative of the organizers said the main objective of conducting the free medical camp is to provide free medical treatment to the pregnant women and children who are not in a position to get such facilities as they are living in the far-flung areas. Fire broke out in a room where petrol was reportedly stored, causing damage at Kaisamtong Laishom Lairak around 10 a.m. today. Reports received from the spot pointed out that the room where the petrol was stored belonged to Hidang Mayum Deva. A man identified as P.H. Arvin suffered a fracture in his right leg while trying to extinguish the fire. Fire tenders reportedly arrived in time, thus douching the fire, which otherwise would have caused intensive damages in the neighboring houses. A newly constructed Maira shed was inaugurated today at Sagolbantera Maning. Social worker C.H. Bijoy and local Mera Paibis took part in the inaugural ceremony. In connection with the ceremony, C.H. Bijoy said, Merapaibi plays a great role in developing the Lekai, and in order to develop more, the shed was being handed over to the Lekai, he said. A team of the United Committee Manipur, led by its president Wainaba Chandra, distributed solar lamps to Jiribam Chingoipung, Babukhan, Sabugat and Borokhan. Difficulties faced by the three villages were also discussed. General Secretary of UCM Joy Chandra Kothaujam, Vice President Chandramani Kumantem, Secretary Accounts R.K. Mangisana also took part in the discussion. Secretary General Joy Chandra said, UCM had visited many villages of Manipur and helped many villages in bringing about development in both hills and valley district. He drew the attention of the government to bring about an amicable solution about the boundary issues of Jiribam subdivision and Tamelong district at the earliest.
Mafam asida leiriba awat apa sing lambi thong education amadi medical gi khuding ma awat ba sing che athuba matamda government na masi implement tawba naba UCM gi side gi government gi mafamda thamjari sing tam punam saukhan minaba amadi nungsi janana leiminaba haiba kolawda UCM na mafam khuding makta chattuna akhoi gi awat pa sing yengchele loinana lamdam asida lebiriba jati khuding mangna Manipur gi territorial integrity ngangminaba amadi apunbagi saktam kaidana thamandiba haibase UCM gi apambani haiba wafum ase thamjagi.
District Hospital Bishnupur held a free health camp yesterday in connection with the World Kidney Day. The camp was organized under the supervision of Dr. N. Sarat Kumar, nephrologist of RIMS. A total of 10 doctors, 15 technicians, 10 nurses and staff of the hospital took part in the camp. Altogether, 200 persons were tested whether their kidneys were properly functioned or not during the camp. District Health Society Bishnupur observed the International Women's Day at the office complex of Chief Medical Officer Bishnupur. DC Bobby Waikom, CMOs and other officials attended the observance. Ashas and members of self-help groups also attended the observance. And moving on to some national and international news, Islamabad High Court today ordered the release of the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack mastermind Zakir Rehman Lakhvi, declaring his detention orders illegal. A Pakistani newspaper reported that the notification issued by Islamabad District Administration were termed as null and void by Justice Nurul Haq. Justice Haq accepted Lakhvi's appeal filed against his third-time detention orders and ordered his immediate release. Lakhvi is accused of being involved in planning, financing and executing the Mumbai attacks in 2008. The Islamabad Deputy Commissioner had issued Lakhvi's detention orders under the Maintenance of Public Order on the 18th of December last year, immediately after he was granted post-arrest bail by an anti-terrorism court. Finance Minister of Kerala, K.M. Mani, read out the state budget at top speed this morning in the Kerala Assembly, finishing in 7 minutes. He was surrounded by Assembly staff to prevent opposition leaders from reaching him. The lawmakers pushed and toppled the Speaker's chair and tore out his mic, flinging it across the room. As Mani, 81, read the budget speech, the opposition lawmakers raised slogans against him, while those of the ruling United Democratic Front, UDF, cheered. Chief Minister Umen Chandi was in their house. In some corners of the large hall, lawmakers were pushing each other. There were reports that 3 MLAs fainted in the chaos, 4 were rushed to hospital. Outside the assembly, a massive contingent of LDF and BJP protesters raised slogans against Mani and threw bottles of water at the police, who used batons, tear gas and water cannons to control the crowd. The police have deployed a 2,500 strong force outside the assembly with multiple barricades. India and Sri Lanka today signed 4 agreements on visa, customs, youth development and building a Rabindranath Tagore memorial in Sri Lanka. While signing the agreements, Modi said, I am aware of Sri Lanka's concern of trade with India. We are not just looking at solving problems, but also to look for new avenues for cooperation. The ocean economy holds new promises for the two countries. Modi discussed the contentious fishermen issue with the Sri Lankan President M. Sirisena. We discussed the fishermen issue. It deals with the livelihood of people. We need a long-term solution for this issue, he said. Modi also announced a multi-crore credit line for rail infrastructure in Sri Lanka. North Korea has fired 7 ground-to-air missiles into the sea, South Korea's defense minister says. It comes on the last day of an annual US-South Korea military exercise. Leader Kim Jong-un was present during the launch on Thursday of the eastern coast, a ministry spokesperson from the south said. The annual exercises, which Pyongyang calls a rehearsal for invasion, are always a trigger for a surge in tension between the two Koreas. North Korea shows its opposition to this year's drills by firing 2 short-range ballistic missiles when they began earlier this month. South Korea said the missiles fired today were believed to be SA-2 or SA-3S with a range of dozens of kilometers, as well as one SA-5 with a range of 200 kilometers, 120 miles. And before we wind up, the top stories once again. Manipur Regulation of Visitors, Tenants and Migrant Workers Bill 2015 tabled in House. And Manipur Band called against Khwaeramban bomb blast which killed 3 persons evokes mixed response. Well, thank you so much for joining with us. Signing off, I'm Surbala Kangava.